Hello, I'm the official narrator. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then give my recommendations at the end. As you can see right here, we've already done Zoroark. Zoroark together. But at the time, Arceus had not come out. This was December of 2021, so it was actually just like a month before the game came out. But as in the description it states here, you guys voted to not cover Hisuian version. As to where now, we get the chance to cover Hisuian version. It's been a while. Let's see how the Google search results differ. And I'm actually kind of excited to cover this one, because as mentioned right here, I apparently didn't know that Illusion changed the name of the Pokemon. And in my defense, Pokemon is like, hey, you can nickname your Pokemon, but we won't let you see it when you do like an online battle. And none of the NPCs have their Pokemon nicknamed. So it's very easy for me to like dismiss that because I didn't really have the opportunity or pay attention or something like that. So that's my defense. I wish you could. I understand why they don't, because you know, you'll be fighting a fucking Gyarados named Cocksucker or something like that. But just, you know, for those of us who have good nicknames, I want to be able to share that. And I can't do that with you censoring me, Nintendo. Very bold of you to assume I would understand whatever this means, child. I don't know what the hell a ghost freak is. But you know what I do know? That this makes me think of two other nicknames that you could use that are probably... that I know what means. Number one, Ghost Face. Like Scream. There's an idea. I'm actually kind of surprised we've never seen that before. We've seen Freddy Krueger mentioned, but like... no other like horror characters. I don't know if we've ever seen Leatherface. And another one which you could use, it's not quite the same, but since he said ghost and it made me think, and it kind of made me wish that his color palette was green as well, was you could do Skulker from Danny Phantom, who's a ghost. So that was pretty much it. He just said ghost, and I was like, Skulker. And that was what my mind came to. And in case you didn't know, the color palette actually apparently for Zoroark and his, shiny ghost, whatever, is meant to be off of the Black 2 and White 2 logos, where it's white and red and blue and black, even though that's more purple than blue, but whatever, we just say things and imagine that they're true. Mysterio is a name that I wish was more unique. And I say that because we have professional wrestler Rey Mysterio, who could be used for like Halucha, and I've probably seen it on something else, but then you also have like Spider-Man Mysterio, the Man of Illusions, and has Fishbowl Head and stuff like that. Mysterio is one of my favorite Spider-Man villains, and I really like the film. It did a good job with film. Hate on Disney if you want to, but I'm kind of glad it took as long as it did for us to get that stuff, because it was great. Basically, like, it's a fine name, and I don't have a problem with it. I just wish there weren't two major characters in the world that use the same name. If this is the truth, please, I beg of you, billion-dollar company that's the most successful on the planet, hire someone to program your video game correctly. You have the money. You can afford it. Mystique is the same vein as Mysterio, and just because I want to say it, if your Zora is male or female, you can name it either one. Fuck you. The name does not imply gender. There's nothing wrong with it. You can name your boy Mystique. You can name your female Mysterio. They're both fine. I strangely don't mind Presto. Like, that's magic word, I suppose, but also my mind goes Presto Changeo, which I'm sure is probably what they meant. And then with that, you could also do, because illusionary, you could do something magic-based. Houdini. So, just another direction for you if you want to go there. I really like the concept of this, and I kind of wish you could just name them Eternal Darkness and Silent Hill. Silent Hill will fit. You could literally name a Pokemon Silent Hill if you want to, and that would be fine. Eternal Darkness is too long, but I like the idea. I just can't think of an entity in either of those games that's like, what would you name it is pretty much what I'm going after. Like, the only thing I can think of is, from when you think of Silent Hill, you're going to think of, like, Pyramid Head and the nurses. Like, that's it. I don't actually know the names of the enemies for Silent Hill. And that's an entire fucking category that you could research and then pick names out of, assuming they're not dog shit, and use them as Pokemon. There's an entire fucking universe right there for you to pluck nicknames from if you wanted to. But I love the idea of Silent Hill and Eternal Darkness. I just don't know what it would do. You could do Perfect Dark. That'd fit. Perfect Dark and Silent Hill. I think technically even Resident Evil would fit. I want to end this Reddit thread by making fun of Dumb Warlock. I'm glad you picked a name that fits your actual life, because no human on the planet is going to be like, oh yes, Amy, short for Amygdala. They're going to think, oh, Amy, like that bitch in my math class, or Amy Rose from Sonic. You're not short on characters, my dude. You could fit Amygdala in the fucking name. You could just say Amy out loud, but its name is that. When you fucking have a birth certificate, your name is Caitlin, but people can still call you Kate. It doesn't change your birth certificate. Cheshire is one we've seen quite a few times in the past, and I actually kind of like the tie, the snicker, because that's something that they even actually include in Pokemon Go, and in the anime, really, they do that, where Zoroark transforms and then just giggles to itself, so I actually kind of like that. Cheshire, we've seen, I want to say Gengar, probably Meowth, Berserker. There's quite a few that it's shown up in throughout the years, so it's fine. It's not one I'm in love with, but anytime I see it, it's usually on a Pokemon that kind of fits. So good job for always making it fit at very least. On the subject, that also made me think of Cackle from Donkey Kong Country 2, the little ghost on the minecart area. That's World 5. Cackle's something. That was one of my favorite levels. But anyway, that could work for Ghost Hisuian Zoroark. I don't know why I felt the need to say Ghost. Because he does laugh and he ghosts, I guess. Just an idea. You don't have to. But I want to use Cackle one of these days. Eclipse, I remember from the original episode, and we've seen it quite a few times in the past, be it for mostly moon-based Pokemon, but in this case, it's being used because Zoroark's black. That's the extent of it. It's pitch black, there's nothing else to it. And then Shadow follows that same bullshit, and then Loki I've seen a few times, but you know my rule. Fuck mythology bullshit, it's overdone. Do you want every single dumbass Pokemon episode to say Loki, 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 Loki? Because I fucking don't! Mirage, that one I personally use on my Flygon for pretty much no reason other than desert, and that was it. But I mean, it's, I suppose, fine. It's kind of very on the nose. And then Kitsune, Keaton, alternatively. That's for your little weeb fox thing. That's usually seen with Ninetales. But, you know, I guess people really can't tell the difference between gold and black apart. If you hold up a copy of Pokemon Gold next to Pokemon Black, fans can't tell the difference. We're not sure why. What color is the dress, people? Okami, it's actually kind of funny, because this and, what was it, fucking Mirage, there you go. Both of those are actually Chaotix comment suggestions, and it looked like Wraith too. So, we've already covered everything Chaotic had to suggest. Okami, I literally just talked about recently. That was kind of my twisted-ass logic with Hisuian Electrode. I understand. It is white, it is red, it is wolf thing, fox, whatever. So, it makes all the sense in the world, and I don't necessarily have a problem with it. And I agreed, it is better than saying Amaterasu, even though Amaterasu is one we see quite often. Mischief feels like it's a Binding of Isaac Bayonetta-style nickname, but somehow a step below it. Like, I don't know what it is, but Mischief just itself doesn't feel that exciting of a word compared to Envy, which feels better. Do I think Envy fits Zoroark? No, I think Envy would much better fit Mimikyu if you wanted to use it on something. But, I don't know, something about just the word Mischief doesn't quite tickle me in the way that some other words do. And then Salem, Black Cat, Salem Witch Trials. You know, when I said Houdini earlier, I was actually making fun of the Alakazam episode, but cool, good to know someone else out there was like, yeah, do that. Black Magic, I remember this because I just watched the ending of the Zoroark episode to see what I recommended. Black Magic was the one where I was like, oh yeah, that's great! So, I stand by that one. That one's one we've only actually really ever seen with Zoroark, and that was it, so that's a unique one. You could still probably put it on other Pokemon, but the Zoroark's the only thing it's shown up on. Dark Arts is basically the same thing as Black Magic, so there's not really a problem with that one if you wanted to do that. Misappear, combo of miss and disappear, only works for female. I mean, in this case, I'll agree with you. A guy named Misappear would be kind of weird. But you know what they didn't say? That they stole that name from SpongeBob, which I think I might actually be okay with that one. SpongeBob nicknames are 90% of the time utter dog shit, but Misappear, I mean, that's at least a nice pun. Foxy Lady is better than just Foxy by itself. Naming a fox Foxy is like naming your dog Doggy. Hey look, this is my Arcanine. His name is Doggy. Did I mention that I just learned to read and write last week? This comment didn't age well because Photoshop always fucking asks me for updates. Every fucking week it seems like they need to update some bullshit. Just like, save all your shit for like 6 months and bother me like twice a year. That'd be better. I miss those days. Like, unless there's some sort of major glitch, it can fucking wait. Anyway, Photoshop's not a bad nickname for something like this. Honestly, I think I'd probably prefer it better on Smeargle, or maybe Grafify. That'd probably be a better choice for Photoshop. And I don't think it even showed up in the Smeargle episode either. Now, I'm sure this is probably some sort of anime or some shit, but I don't know why, but just this, you know, the horror thing kind of came back, and I was like, you can name it from like a character. Like, what's the name of the little girl? Does she have any specific name? The little girl from The Ring that fell down the well? I don't know why, but I feel like that'd be kind of a funny one. Tie it into horror films. We need more horror film-based nicknames. Rather than hate, because that's kind of what I was talking about where, like, mischief didn't feel good. Hate is going to sound better if it's hatred. And I feel like I have hatred either on somebody or set aside. Being a hater, Loki's his best name for real, just name it Loki? No. I think it's a terrible name and I would not use it because I'm not a fucking twat. But the one worth extra highlighting down here is going to be Lupin. That one I want to say we saw during the Lycanroc episode. Werewolf, you get it. This one's dark type as well because Sirius Black. So if you want a Harry Potter reference, even though I'm gonna leave it alone. Harry Potter reference. Fucking hell. I'm getting real tired of seeing Ranker twice in an episode. It's getting annoying. Midnight. It's like Eclipse, but different. What? I think we're using just night theme. Yeah, we saved Midnight for the Ursaluna episode. Kind of too late now. Rather than Shady, call it Slim Shady. Then, draw a picture of Zoroark wearing bling and holding a microphone, rapping, "Will the real Slim Shady please stand up?" And then if you want to go a step further, animate it to where he uses his illusion ability to turn into Slim Shady. Bam. How am I so smart? Right in pitch, you could call it Pitch Black. I still think that whenever the Black and White remakes comes out, Pokemon Pitch Black is a fantastic name. They probably won't use it, but I kind of hope they do. And if they do, just remember I said it first. I want to know what they would do for White, though. Pitch Black and Pokemon what White? Pure White? I'll highlight Dementor. I don't necessarily think it fits, but I'll highlight it anyway. Okay, well, we've reached the bottom, and it kind of, like, devolved once we got here. Like, this is, I can't do it. I can't do it. That's me. And then this is, like, what I was talking about with the illusion thing. But we saw, I'm going to say, a lot. And there was some Hisuian stuff mixed in here as well. So we're going to type in Hisui to see if the results change. But before we do that, let's look at the comments on the original video, which I didn't mention. This will be down in the description below and unlisted from here on out. So if you want to watch all 7 minutes and 3 seconds of this glory, click the link down below in the description. Hopefully YouTube never deletes the ability to have descriptions, or that'll be really awkward. Now, in no way am I saying that I don't like these nicknames. They're fine. I like your guys' what you're doing. They're just opinions different from my own. The thing that I think most interesting about this is just the part where it's just deception. Where that right there could be its own nickname. Just deception. Binding of Isaac Bayonetta style. And then right down here, which I admire this guy for calling himself out. Sometimes people will leave comments and it'll be nicknames that I've already talked about in the video, and I think to myself, did you even watch the video? Could you at least pretend you watched the video? Like, if you're gonna put a nickname that's already in there, say I use or I like. That automatically makes it imply that you at least watched it. Midna. Ente. Okay. We're going to type in Hisui and see if the results change, but I don't really have high expectations. So, we actually just basically got the same fucking stuff, but in a different order, so that's it. Typing Hisui and Zoroark actually didn't change a fucking thing. Which is fine, because we're already 35 minutes up into recording. I'm telling you, it's weird how Hisui feels like it's such a short generation and it should be so easy, but yet every single recording ends up being 30 to 40 minutes long. I'm not sure what it is or why, but it takes a lot of time to record these. I still, as of this point, I've not even edited anything yet. I mean, I've got up to Ursaluna, but like, I'm just like, fuck it, just record everything, we'll edit it all, and then we'll start uploading it. So I apologize for the fact that Hisui is taking longer than it should have. Anyway, we already basically talked about the comment suggestions with Okami, Wraith, and Mirage in there from Chaotic. There was a lot. I didn't really write anything down. I feel like the one that I liked the most out of everything I saw was Silent Hill. That one I like. Just the concept of that is, it's different. It's nice. And personally, I associate Silent Hill with the color white. I think that's kind of reasonable. But if you could, again, horror is a good route. And Zoroark, I love the fucking trailer they did for Hisui and Zoroark where they made it kind of scurry. So like that's a theme. I personally don't think it matters which form. I think any nickname you give would fit either or. Dark and Ghost are essentially the same fucking type anyway. Difference is one can't be affected by Psychic, the other can't be affected by Normal and Fighting, and that's about where it ends. So, any ideas and suggestions you have, feel free to put in the comments below. Give a thumbs up to the ones that you think are good. Let us know what you'd use or recommend. The one I personally used for regular Zoroark prior to this was Opera, based off Phantom of the Opera. And that was also me trying to play off the fact of, oh, let's not let the nickname give it away, which, as I've learned, isn't the case. So I feel like I was a little bit more open-minded with this recording than I was the initial one. And honestly, I feel like I saw a lot less gotcha, fooled you, tricked you kind of things. So I don't know. I feel like I saw a lot of that the first time, but I didn't see any of it this time, which is nice.